shows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half-staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. There's demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish, okay?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Well, we have crazy news where Jimmy Kimmel has been fired from ABC because he was mocking Charlie Kirk and saying the wrong things on his platform. So now he has been canned. He has been fired. We could all rejoice. We could all bring out the champagne and be happy that this mongrel is now gone, because this is a massive cultural shift. People are being serious on this. We have this here from the New York Post. The ABC pulls Jimmy Kimmel live indefinitely after offensive Charlie Kirk comments. This is crazy. This is crazy. Jimmy Kimmel is taking an involuntary hiatus. ABC announced that it's pulling the company's late-night talk show off the air indefinitely following the host's controversial comments. Man, and we have this from Nexstar saying that Nexstar ABC affiliates to preempt Jimmy Kimmel live indefinitely beginning tonight. Says, today announced that the company's owned and partner television stations affiliated with the ABC television network will preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live for the foreseeable future, beginning with tonight's show. Nexstar strongly objects to recent comments made by Mr. Kimmel concerning the killing of Charlie Kirk and will replace the show with other programming in its ABC-affiliated markets. Mr. Kimmel's comments about the death of Mr. Kirk are offensive and insensitive at a critical time in our national political discourse, and we do not believe they reflect the spectrum of opinions, views, or values of the local communities in which we are located, said Andrew Alford, president of Nexstar's broadcasting division. Continuing to give Mr. Kimmel a broadcast platform in the communities where he serves is simply not in the public interest at the current time, and we have made the difficult decision to preempt the show in an effort to let cooler heads prevail as we move toward the assumption of respectful, constructive dialogue. Yeah, so he got canned. He got cooked. And this is all afterwards. Everybody was calling him to be fired, including the FCC chair, going after ABC on the comments that Jimmy Kimmel has made on Charlie Kirk. So without further ado, my friends, here's that clip.
When you look at the conduct that has taken place by Jimmy Kimmel, it appears to be some of the sickest conduct possible. As you've indicated, there are avenues here for the FCC. So there are some ways in which I need to be a little bit careful, because we could be called ultimately to be a judge on some of these claims that come up. But I don't think this is an isolated incident. I mean, you go back to Representative Swalwell, and he had a tweet out last week where he was saying that, emphasizing that Charlie Kirk's killer was a straight white male from a Republican family that voted for Donald Trump. In some quarters, there's a very concerted effort to try to lie to the American people about the nature, as you indicate, of one of the most significant, newsworthy public interest acts that we've seen in a long time. And what appears to be an action by Jimmy Kimmel to play into that narrative that this was somehow a MAGA or Republican motivated person. If that's what happened here with his conduct, that is really, really sick. And I've been very clear from the moment that I have become chairman of the FCC. I want to reinvigorate the public interest. And what people don't understand is that the broadcasters, and you've gotten this right, are entirely different than people that use other forms of communication. They have a license granted by us at the FCC, and that comes with it an obligation to operate in the public interest. And we can get into some ways that we've been trying to reinvigorate the public interest and some changes that we've seen. But frankly, when you see stuff like this, I mean, look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. These companies can find ways to change conduct, to take action, frankly, on Kimmel, or there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead.
What kind of action would you see? I, at the very least, would like to have an on-air apology from Jimmy Kimmel to the Kirk family, to all of those who he slandered, because he did say that Charlie Kirk, he is effectively saying that our movement did this. Our movement killed Charlie, that Charlie was deserving of this, effectively. And we've seen that rear its head. This happens quite regularly, actually, on MSNBC and on other networks where they're trying to victim blame. And what that does, Mr. Chairman, respectfully, is continues the lie and continues the threat level to say effectively that we have no share in this problem at all on the left. This is a clear-cut case. What would you like to see done at ABC?
Well, look, I think what you said there strikes me as a very reasonable, minimal step that can be taken. I mean, obviously, look, there's calls for Kimmel to be fired. I think, you could certainly see a path forward for suspension over this. And again, the FCC is going to have remedies that we could look at. And again, we may ultimately be called to be a judge on that. But
yes,
this also strikes me as sort of conduct that to some extent shows some sort of desperate irrelevance. I mean, we're sort of exiting an era where the three main legacy broadcast networks could control and dictate the narrative to the American people. And one of the things that President Trump did when he ran for office, he ran directly at that legacy media establishment. And he smashed the facade that they get to control what we say, what we think, the narrative around events. And we're seeing a lot of consequences that are flowing from President Trump doing that. I mean, look, NPR has been defunded. PBS has been defunded. Colbert is retiring. Joy Reid is out at MSNBC. Terry Moran has gone from ABC and sort of now admitting that they are biased. CBS has now made some commitments to us that they're going to return to more fact-based journalism. And so I think you see some lashing out from people like Kimmel, who are frankly talentless and are looking for ways to get attention. But their grip on the narrative is slipping. That doesn't mean that it's still not important to hold them to the public interest standard. That's what we're going to have to do.
Guys, this is what we call F-round find out and accountability. This is crazy. And again, as I said on my Twitter, on my X, to where the media is losing left and right. They're losing on all fronts. Democratic Party is leaving. Democrats are leaving the Democratic Party, actually, in high numbers. And now Jimmy Kimmel has been fired, essentially, for the talk about Charlie Kirk. This is the culture massively going into a shift of not allowing this insanity here, and along with the government finally doing what I've been wanting them to do, going after these social media platforms for inciting hate, violence, and rhetoric against conservatism, mind you, is finally coming to a hold. This is what you get when you assassinate a moderate, non-combative person, and now you get the hammer. Now you get the claws. You have woke up a sleeping giant that is enraged. I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon, and you people have yourselves to blame because you have no ability to feel remorse. You have no ability to have any type of humanity or soul, so therefore you go out and laugh at a man's death. And your guys' jobs and your potentially jail time is in the near future because you can't stop your hatred. You can't stop your radicalism. And it's going to be breathing down your necks very, very soon. You will be the next person being held responsible for these things. This is outcry of the Americans saying no more of this BS, no more of this insanity, and Jimmy Kimmel did not get the memo. Jimmy Kimmel thought it was a good idea to spout lies and criticize Charlie Kirk, and now he is not even criticize, lie about the story, and there's even reports of Erica Kirk suing these other media outlets and stuff like that because of defaming her own husband. You guys better be careful of what you're doing here, because the claws are out. The hammer is coming. People are not effing around anymore, and you guys have nothing to blame but yourselves. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends.
This ain't the America that all our parents love, but good men try to keep making it great. Pray that God will take care of us. The system is failing us when good men die for the things that they